everyone. I, Nishu Balian, a part of Eklavya Education, present in front of you for a small discussion about basics of physics. Yes, guys, we are going to start on our physics, the concept of physics, the concept of our physical world. Yes, the same name is predicted. It is an introduction of physics, which is your first chapter in grade 11. So, guys, if you are preparing for NEET 2021 and 22, then you are most welcome in the world of Eklavya Education. And with that note, let's start the concept of physical world. So, before starting the concept of physical world, I would like to tell you what is basically an science, a word science means. When we talk about science, it is, what is science? What is science? I hope you all are studying this concept of science from your grade 3rd, 4th, 5th, many years. है ना? अब तो बहुत time हो चुका है. Okay, so when we talk about science, science means to know. Now you will say, ma'am, to know is a concept which is behind everything in this universe. Okay, yes, but this concept of to know is included with organized knowledge. Organized knowledge means there should be a correct way to understand a concept, to predict a concept, to modify a concept, and to control the overall system. So in this case of science, I can say this is a organized knowledge. For understanding organized knowledge, I would like to tell you earlier, around 500 or 1500 AD, the theory which were being given were all called as philosophy. There was no such thing called as science. This philosophy concept usually delivered by, if you talk about our India, then all the Rishi Munis would like to give the theories at that time. Afterwards, the Pandit came up, Brahmins, and who were the actual researchers in the who used to roam around the jungles and all. And afterwards, we can say in foreign countries, in many other countries, you can say the priest who were there in the church, and they used to be the part of those kind of educator world. You all know that Brahmins and Rishi Munis all were as they were do the god. They used to do the prayers as well as exercising, and they used to teach the students also. They all are responsible for their research work also. So there were the different concepts, because many theories haven't got the name in this universe, haven't got permanent by the universe, as they were not written. Few are written in our dharma Veds and granth, you can say, but not all. So with that, if I say science, if I need to tell you about science, then yes, science is a knowledge, but it is an organized knowledge which was being written, which has been proved, which has been answered, which has been sorting out the problems and sorting out the concepts, so developed as theories. So in this concept, I would like to say it is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena and we can use this knowledge to predict. Yes, we can predict nature, we can predict weather, we can predict season, we can, yes, modify. Theories used to get modified. I'm going to tell you how theories got modified. We will pick an example of gravitation, I can say, motion and gravitation, which will be your future topics which you are going to study further in your grade 11th only. So, and control the phenomena, and use and control the phenomena according to our needs. So with that note, I would like to tell you the most important thing, which is an important part of you can say science also, that is a scientific method. Whenever we try to develop a theory, whenever we try to understand a theory, we have to go through number of theories which are going on. So in that note, we have to follow a particular sequence to understand, to throw to enlighten the concept of science. So in that case, I would like to take an example of gravitation. I can say, see, people used to say a small apple just dropped from a fallen apple from a tree gives an inspiration to Newton to develop a Newton's law of gravitation. But that's not the truth. Behind the law of gravitation, there was effort of thousands of years. Yes, the concept was not so simple. Universal law of gravitation has a long journey in the world of science. So, what would be happening over there? So, to understand how a theory, how a law developed, we have to understand what are the following steps which were followed. Initially, there were observations. Observations came up like the the earliest theory which was coming up for the motion, or you can say the concept of gravitation, was a theory given by Ptolemy. He was a great scientist. I can't call it scientist because earlier there was no scientist, but still I can say yes. Nowadays, as he did a research on gravitation, he must be a scientist. He must be a researchist. Okay, so when Sir Ptolemy saw the sun is rising in the east and setting up in the west, it got strike in his mind. He again and again tried to notice how is it happening. What is this? What is basically this is? Then he came up to a result. What was the result? Result was like he said the sun is revolving around our earth and earth is stationary, and because sun is a source of light, that's why the sun is enlightening the portion in which earth is, on which the light of it falling on according to the its motion, you can say revolution. Okay, so when this theory came up, it was a boom in the field of science. It was a boom in the field of theories. He became famous. Ptolemy, yes, Ptolemy became very, very much famous. Afterwards, after 500 AD, Sir Aryabhatta thought of the concept. He said, no, this concept can't be correct. I object the concept. Then people say, yes, if you want to do any kind of modification, show something interesting. How can you prove it? Then he said, did he perform an experiment? Everybody said, yes, he performed an experiment. He said, how? He said he took a ball and a bulb, small bulb. He just tried to revolve the bulb. And yes, if here is a light, here is a day. If here the sun is at this place, as this portion won't get illuminated, this portion got night. It's day, it's night. Then he laughed. Aryabhatta sir say, can you think of this concept otherwise? He said, how come? He said, this also can be possible that this particular sun is stationary and this earth is doing a rotation as well as a revolution around it. So I can say this is a concept of geocentrism. The concept of geocentrism says the earth is stationary, sun is revolving around it. As you can see, the small blue earth which is just stationary at its point, and yellow sun which is revolving around it. Second concept came up, which was given by Aryabhatta, but he haven't got famous because there were no any kind of communication system that time. So after him, one more scientist came up, and by that scientist, that theory got famous after around more than 500 years after that. Okay, then he gave up a concept. His name was Copernicus. Copernicus gave a theory of this particular heliocentrism. He said, no, sun is stationary, earth is revolving around it. So yes, the concept now got famous. He said, if this concept follow on and sun is moving from west to east, then it will be seen to us. It would be seen by us that sun sun is rising from the east and setting up at the west. So with this concept, observation done, controlled experiments done. Is that enough? Then another theory came up by other scientists. Galileo also followed the same rule, that all the planets are moving around the sun and they are doing a motion, and this all motion is just because all these bodies have an attractional force towards them. This attractional force gave another confusion to the world. If they all are attracted towards each other, why can't they got stick up? If the sun and the earth are attracting each other, why can't they just touch each other? They can collide each other and blast. Anything can be happen. Then confusion came up, and after this confusion, come up to our next step. First step, observation. He noticed every day that sun is rising from the east and setting up at the west. Then he developed a theory. He did some kind of controlled experiment. The controlled experiment was performed in the lab with the bulb and a ball. Then come up to qualitative reasoning and quantitative reasoning. With those concepts of qualitative and quantitative reasoning, the concept again came up. Concept is, if the distance between both the objects, if the distance between both the objects is higher, is longer, then the force of attraction between both the bodies will going to be reduced. If these bodies try to come towards each other, then that force of attraction will going to increase. That means if distance between them increase, force of attraction will going to decrease. If force of gravitation will going to increase, the distance have to decrease. That's the concept. So with this note, they have developed the concept of distance and quality. Another concept came up of mass. They say, why can't this ball and this bulb attract each other? They are also bodies. They also have attraction of force. Then there would be another concept. There is a concept of mass. He said, the force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of both the masses. If masses are higher, then they will show the higher gravitational force, the force of attraction. And this gave a qualitative as well as quantitative reasoning. With this concept, I can say, they said that F is directly proportional to product of both the masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. And with this concept, they developed a formula that is called as F is equals to G M1 M2 upon R square. And see, the famous mathematical quantitative qualitative reasoning has came up, and by these reasoning they develop actually a formula. So the attraction due to mass, attraction due to distance is a qualitative reasoning. Then this relation of force with mass and distance is qualitative reasoning. This is qualitative reasoning. And this complete formula which has been developed is included mathematical modeling. This is called mathematical modeling. We try to analyze the qualitative and quantitative reasoning, and by then we used to develop a mathematical formula, a derivational formula for our concept. And on that basis, basically, you can say there would be a horizon, there would be a prediction came up. Prediction of coming up of days. Yes, after 24 hours, there will be another day. After 365 days or 366 days, that happened in leap year. All these predictions are just done by the concept of these type of laws, these type of theories. Then after those prediction, there would be verification or falsification of theories. All the scientists try to verify the theories, verify the prediction. Suppose they have predicted something, they try to analyze the prediction, then they will give a result. And after giving their result, if the result came up right, it's okay. If the result won't came up right, then they will give a falsification. Verification and falsification can be called as, yes, I am satisfied with the statement. No, I am not satisfied with the statement. Falsification means finding errors. That's why each and every concept will have to pass through a number of steps which has been came up. And likewise, we can say our theory of science got developed. Now the another concept. Is there any kind of final theory? Is there any kind of final theory in science? That's a very important question. No, there is no such final theory that came into the world of science. No theory has been developed up till yet. The people can say, yes, this is the final theory. There won't be any kind of modification anymore. Because as knowledge doesn't have an end, how could a science and its concept would end? We people are just entering into the quantum physics, the modern physics. The modern physics is much, much higher than the concept we study in the classical physics. Although we are going to study about classical physics in this grade 11th and 12th concept, but still I would like to tell you that modern physics, the quantum physics are much more higher than the concept we have already reached on. So if I say, is there any final theory in science and questioned can be done or not by authority in science? Yes, there are always chances of asking question about concepts of science. There are a number of questions that arise because there is no final theory. People used to say light is a wave. No, initially the concept came up from Newton sir only. He said light is what? It is just like a bullet. It tried to move in a straight line and strike the metal. People say yes, this is light. But then another theory came up. And in that theory, Huygens principle have given a theory. And in those theory, what actually happens, he said he just turn on his torch and fall it on the wall. He said the small circle of torch will going to be illuminated like something. It got spreading. If you can see, this is the best example. See, the sunlight is coming up. If this sunlight is coming up and it is moving towards the earth, you notice that what? It is going to spread. This light is going to spread. As this light is going to spread, then I can say, no, there can't be any bullet theory. There can't be any kind of justified theory of bullet, or you can say corpuscles. He used to say packet of light. Packet of light are coming up and striking the bodies, and after that it got reflect. Then there would be come up another theories. So I can say there is no end to any theory. There is many times it happens that two or more theories are justifying a single incident. They said that a metal got striken up by the light. Yes, it is like a ray. We study ray optics about it. Then concept came up wave. We used to study reflection, refraction, which has been happened in sound waves also. So all those concepts were correct for the light wave also. Then after this, when the concept of wave came up, that wave is like the wave came up in water. Light is like wave coming up in water. As you see a pool of water, you just drop a stone in it, and that dropping stone will going to create a number of waves. So there is no final theory to science. So there is no final concept of science that we can say it can't be edited. It can't be corrected. It can be. It can be modified. Yes, any concept of science can be modified. Now coming up another concept. That is called as natural science. Now you will going to ask, ma'am, this is going to be very much confusing now. You are just talking about science. Science is organized knowledge. Then what is natural science? See guys, natural science is study of nature, obviously. Natural means nature. Science means organized knowledge. That means we can say science is an organized knowledge of whole nature. Anything which is going on in our surrounding, anything which is going on in the world, everything includes in natural sciences. It includes the concept of atoms, and in that protons, neutrons, electrons, as well as the concept of sun, moon, satellite, earth, everything. You can't move out of it. So, in a broad sense, we can say our natural science deals with three branches. First branch is mine. Obviously, I love my branch, physics. Second, chemistry. Third, biology. So, things which are dealing with plants, animals, living beings, biology. Things which is going on with atoms, atomic structure, their reactions, their attractions, chemistry. Physics, attraction, repulsion, forces applying, obviously, concepts which are going on in the nucleus to the concepts which are going on in the space, everything concerned with physics also. So with this note, I would like to tell you what is a physics and how it affects us, what are its basic rules, basic principle thrust. So in that note, I can say what is a physics? Force of attraction, physics. Force of repulsion, physics. Moving charge, physics. Falling apple, physics. Wind blowing, physics. Cloud showering with rain, physics. Clouds are just going striking and they're showing up lightning, physics. What is physics? Physics is the study of basic laws of nature. All the laws which are developed in this nature are manifest by different phenomena and thus form physics. So physics is actually a very wide concept. It can't end so easily.